Hey everyone, it's Ellen and welcome to Mini Monday Madness, and we're doing a sailboat. It's perfect for like Father's Day or any kind of gift for the avid person who loves the ocean. I go over things step by step. If you're a Patreon member, you can download the traceable. Also, if you're a Patreon member, I have a bonus tutorial with this little one. So go on over there and check it out. It's up over here, and it's a place people can go and support my channel, which I appreciate so much. And I have ad-free videos, traceables, and exclusive tutorials on Thursdays on Patreon. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Please don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial is up. And also please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, which I appreciate. Okay guys, let's go sailing. Okay, so I'm going to go with my supplies. I have a 3-inch square of 100% cotton cold pressed paper from Arch, my Princeton 8 long round brush, paper towels, paints, and I go over them as I use them. I've already put in my sketch here for the sailboat. You know, basically a sailboat is pretty straightforward. You're just going to make a line kind of like this, angle it here, right? You get the mast, then I have a little kind of like railing here, and then the part where the people sleep in here, right? You get the mast, and you get the lines coming down from the mast, and then with the sailboat, it's all rolled up on the side here as a triangle, connected to that. And then we just have like a crossbar from the mast. You could put on out here on the line, you could put some flags if you want, but you know, we're going to keep it simple. So that's basically the sailboat, and then the rest we're just going to paint as we go. Like I said, if you're a Patreon member, you can download the traceable, and here's the bonus little mini video on there as well. So we got the design traced in here, and you can do it many ways. You can just paint it, or you can use pen and ink, draw the sailboat, and then put in the colors in the background. I think we're going to do the typical way where we're just going to paint it. So I'm going to start off painting the sky, and I'll still leave my my trace lines in there. If I want to lighten them up, I'll just take a gum eraser and just kind of like lighten them up a bit. I want to do like a sunset kind of colors, so yellows and oranges and some blues as well. So I'm going to take my yellow here. I'm going to activate this. This is cadmium yellow deep. All the colors I use, I always use Holbein paints. The older videos I had, I used like cheaper kind of paints. But these are the colors that I like to use from Holbein. And they're always in the description box. You just hit those words, show more, and the box drops down and you see all the description, all the links to everything there. Okay, so we have my yellow. I have a brilliant orange here, which is really pretty. And put that here too. And of course, right now I decided to make a video, so one's going to leaf blow. I have a at-home studio, so yeah. I have my magenta here. I'll mix it in with a little orange. So I've got those colors working, and up here I have ultramarine blue, which is pretty, right? I have a peacock blue over here. So I'm going to play around mixing a bunch of these, and I have a Prussian blue up here. So first I'm going to just get water on my brush, and I'm just going to wet this like halfway point going upward. Just like this, right? Just get it damp, not super wet, just get it nice and damp. I'm gonna start adding in, and have to move this around. I might be lifting up my board. And I taped this down with Scotch tape on cardboard too, by the way. So I've got my cadmium yellow deep, mixed with a little bit of orange. I'm just gonna go across here. I'm gonna add some more yellow actually. More yellow up here. See, it's just going to kind of push its way out. I'm going to take some magenta, put that in here too. Just like that. Maybe get a little bit brighter. I can add a little brilliant orange. Woohoo! Get this fun sunset, right? And grab some more orange. Go out in here. Just a few out there. Cleaned up my brush. I'm just kind of pushing it like on the side like that. You see that? Now I'm going to grab some pretty blues. I have that ultramarine blue I was telling you about. It's kind of watered down over here. And I'm just going to kind of grab some of this, just go across like that. This is the tip of the brush. Take your time doing this. See, I'm filling in like the little white spaces in between the orange. Going back in and grabbing a little more concentrated paint with a little bit less water. If I want to tap it on my paper towel, take off the excess water, you can do that too. See, it's a little darker. Just kind of tapping it, going across. Tap, tap. Just like that. Getting a little sky in here. You can grab some Prussian blue, get a little bit darker, even more so up top. Right, adding it over that. That might be a little too bright intense. I might tone that down with some ultramarine on top of that. I didn't like how intense that was. Go back with the ultramarine. Kind of going in between here again. The clouds. You can kind of lift it up and have it blend down a little bit. Right? I'm going to put some in here too. So less water when you're going right into that orange area. Just going across and just tapping it like that. I'm going to add a little bit, I kind of play around with some black gouache instead of using black watercolor because I like the intensity of it, and I've added it to the ultramarine. Just get a little bit darker. Even still, just going in here, just getting in some darker clouds. Still just kind of tap, I'm just tapping it along here. Tap, tap, tap. Let the water color bleed into the other colors a little bit on its own. Down here. Just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. I can go back in and grab some of my magenta. Let's get some pink in here. Woohoo! You know, you don't have to make these skies like this perfect sky. I like playing around with color. Grab some orange. It's like this intense sunset, right? A little bit of this yellow. Again, down here, a little bit darker yellow. Grab some more yellow. Ooh, put that down the bottom. Pretty intense, right? Kind of fun. It doesn't have to be realistic. If it bleeds out a little too much over here, you just go back in and grab a little orange, put some up in here. Careful not to get it too muddy. See, I'm lifting up some of the paint, going back in. Now this area where it's white kind of dried, so I'm going to take my brush, grab a little bit of water, just kind of push the paint around. Careful not to get it too wet. So I wanted it white, but not super white. Want a little bleed going in there. Clouds. You can remove some of it too, see? Lift it up with your brush. And go back in and add some more. Intensity color. Get that dark, deep clouds. I had a little bit of that black. I'll go back in and grab some more of my ultramarine mixed in. Get those dark colors in the sky. And I want to add a little, it's getting there, right? A little hint of like orange kind of under here. A little more intensity. So we're getting there with our fun sky. Listen, don't have to make it perfect. It's just like a little mini painting. It's like a little study. You know, have a little fun with it. Might add a little more pink. I like to play around with color. Lifting up just a little more. get some more dark sky up here. The deep dark part up top. Very mystical quality. And a little bit over here. Right? And then we have the intense little fun sky going. So the bottom half will be more of like pinks and blues. And then the sailboat will be like little gray blues. So I'm clean up my brush. And I'm going to take all this orange out of here. Ultramarine is perfect for this. Got some ultramarine here. Mix a little magenta, just a little bit. See, like it's periwinkle kind of color, purplish blue. Grab a little more ultramarine. And I'm just gonna wisp this across. Wet on dry now at this point. See? This purpley color. I'm gonna clean up my brush. I'm gonna grab some magenta, water that down a little bit. And I'm gonna add some orange to it. I want this like coral pink kind of color. So the brilliant orange and the magenta. Doesn't seem to incorporate. Well, close enough. So put this little pink, I'll water it down. I'll put a little pink kind of lines going across here. Just a few in here. Right, to reflect the orange that's going on here. Grab a little bit of orange. Water that down as well. Just put a little bit of orange color in there. Go back to my blues, blue purples. Grab some more ultramarine. Just putting them across, like so. It's a little balancing act. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. Adding in the blues and the pinks. See? This is ultramarine mixed with a teeny bit of the magenta. I'm just going across like that. I do want to keep some of the pretty pinks. Water down in here from the sky. It's going to bleed and make it a little purple, so you're just going to have to play around with pushing that paint around with blue. Go back with my ultramarine. There. And then you can put some of the orange down here too. Oops, that's too much orange. Really just wanted it watered down. Okay, so we're going to have to let... don't try not to paint over your boat, by the way. You can paint over the mast area, but don't paint over the boat. I didn't mention that, but don't want to paint over that. You leave most of that white. I'm going to go in and make it a pretty, like, blue-gray. Okay, so that's drying. I'm going to go back in and we can start working on the little boat. So you can use the ultramarine. I have a little black wash up here. I might want to use my Princeton 4 now at this point. It's just a smaller brush. More control over that. So I've got some grays going here. I'm just using some black wash and I'm watering it down. I have my ultramarine blue here. And combine them, it's like a nice blue-gray. I'm checking around, making sure it's not too wet so I can work with this. I'm just going to put the line in of the boat here. And it's a little bleeding up here. Down. You know, like I said, you could have done where you used the marker instead. And we're going to just fill in some areas of the boat. Get a little bit darker with the blue and the black. We're going to put a little line. It's a little thicker here. Right? And a little teeny one here. Just like an outline. And a little bit thicker on the bottom. And then here where the boat sleeping quarters are, I'm just going to outline it with the tip of this brush. And I'll put in some of the windows. the side windows. It's really tiny kind of painting, so don't get worried too much. So you can still see that it's white, but we're going to really tone it down with a little gray because it's in the shadow. You wouldn't really be seeing it that white. So I'm going to add a little gray to the boat. Like so. You could actually just make the whole thing black, like a silhouette, if you wanted to do that. You want to get technical like this. Just testing to see if it's going to bleed. That bled a little bit. Just clean up my brush. Kind of maneuver that paint. Okay, so then we can make the mast like a deep gray black color tone. Again, I'm testing so it won't bleed. We're just going straight up. Like that. Can use the same black tone and kind of go in here and just tweak the top of the boat and here. And here I'll put a little railing. Boop, boop, boop. Go back down. Kind of tweak that. So we have our mast. Oops, a little too thick. That's okay. We're going to have to put a line down from the mast connecting to the front of the bow of the boat, and one to the stern, just like that. And we're gonna have the rolled up sail. So I'm just taking some ultramarine. It's kind of mixed in with that black again, and then here I'm just gonna go like this, wiggle it, and wiggle it like a little triangle connecting. And there's the connecting sail. And then up here we'll do our little crossbow here. Now you could add little flags to the the lines if you wanted to. Don't have to. And there's our little sailboat. And we might want to make it a little darker blue, like I said, because it's in shadow. So I'm going to add some more of this blue here, just a little bit darker. Now, for the for the rest of this part, it's going to need a shadow. So we take some of this ultramarine blue we have here, mix it with a little gray, and basically you're going to put it little lines right next to the boat. Oh, it's still wet and below. I thought this was all dry. I'm going to have to wait till this dries. While it's drying, I'm going to go ahead and take my Princeton 8 and add a little more blue to that area. It's not blue enough. See, I'm just going to go add some more blue. And I want to add a ground. I'm careful, I got a little too close to my mast and it kind of bled a little bit. But where this here is, the sunset, I'm going to add some trees, and they would be silhouetted, but you can make them gray, you can make them dark blue, black, or even green. I'm going to make them a little bit gray and a little green. So I've got some blue, some yellow, it's green, adding a little gray to that. I'm just going to take my brush, see, I'm just kind of tapping around, putting in the ground color, the ground. Or you can just take a burnt umber, water that down, and use that too. Like the little trees. Play around with both the green and the brown. And adding in some black. Just like that. Testing that again. All right, so while that's drying, I'm going to go and do my reflection of the boat. So I have my ultramarine mixed in with some gray. And we're just using little lines like this. See? Wink, wink. I'm going to try and reflect the mast with the sail. So you can just go like this. Oh, that's bleeding there. Still wet. All right, I'm going to dry this and come back. Okay, mine was getting so wet I couldn't do it. So you let it dry, and then you come back in and you put these little, just with number 4 brush lines like this, and you want to kind of mimic where the sail is. You put the mast here, and then you put the sail. You kind of wiggle it. In the mast line, you want to wiggle, and you can kind of just wiggle or break up the line that kind of matches this one. Get this a little bit darker. Ultramarine and the gray. See, I'm just kind of mimicking the sailboat. Coming out here. Just like that. That might be a little dark. I might lift up some of the color. But it's a reflection. And you can get some darker tone blues and reflection in the water. Like here we get some ultramarine. See, just look at these little lines going up this way, close to the land. Put a little bit darker lines going across, like so. Don't get bogged down with like technical details. So I'm gonna go back and fix my mast. And I'm going to add a little orange to my boat. Light pale, whoops. Just a little bit. I want it to kind of reflect the water. I'm going to make the boat a little bit darker here. Like I said, swimming make it's pretty simple. I don't want to get really too bogged down with details on this boat because it's a tiny painting. And that's about it. And you can get back here at the land and add a little more details if you want. You can put a top little flag. So let me grab my blue. Whatever. Go up here to the top. And you could put little top and then just add like a little flag. Could be red, could be orange. Maybe do an orange one. A little dull down, little flag. And get creative. You don't have to have a flag. I think it'd be kind of fun. And so this kind of washed out a little bit. I might go back in and add a little more pretty orange. And some blues. Right? Just be careful not to get to the boat again and get it all wet. Because it will bleed. There, just a teeny bit. Not too much. Alright, that's a little sailboat. Let's pull off our little tape. It's a mini. That's the fun part. I pull up half the cardboard when I'm doing this. And don't want to get the tape off my fingers. And there's our mini sailboat. You can just go in and tweak it, you know, with a pen or even little white gouache. But I like it to keep it just a little bit of reflection of the color, and then, like I said, you can go and just take a marker if you want to draw some really skinny lines, lines that go into the mast and the lines here. But don't worry about it too much. So there's our little sailboat. Be a great little Father's Day gift card to give to somebody, or just a card in general, or somebody who likes sailing. So if you have any questions, leave in the comment section. Please don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial is up. And yes, if you're a Patreon member, you get the bonus extra tutorial that I'm on the Mini Monday Madness. So take care, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.